Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining today. We're thrilled to see that there's interest in the Women in Security Forum. So we wanted to use today to give a little bit of an overview of what we do at the Women in Security Forum, why we do it, and all of the ways that you can be involved. I've heard people say before that they sign up for the Women in Security Forum and then they don't know what happens next. How do they get involved, and what can they do to make sure that they're engaging and connecting with others in the industry? So that's the goal of today, is to share some of those details. So we'll go ahead and dive in. To kind of explain about the Women in Security Forum, it was founded in 2018 as a business networking community. So, specifically for women and allies in the industry to help advance women. There are over 1,500 members of Women in Security Forum. So a lot of really impressive growth over that time. And the members are from all facets of the industry, whether it be manufacturing, integration, end users and practitioners. We're really represented across kind of all areas of the industry. We see over 25% membership growth year over year. So that's wonderful. We are continuing to spread the word and make sure that people understand that they can participate and get involved. And we have over 3,500 LinkedIn followers. So I'll share that at the end to make sure that if you're not following SIA Women in Security Forum on LinkedIn, you make sure and you go and do that after this. There's a lot of opportunities to be featured. We do profiles on our LinkedIn page. We have many media partners. We'll talk through a little bit after this of just all the different ways we like to feature women in the industry and share their expertise and show what amazing women there are that are working and bettering the security industry. So we have a lot of annual initiatives. Tia is going to go into some of those on the next slide, but one that is not mentioned there is that we deliver the keynotes at both ISC West and East. So if you do attend those trade shows, please make sure that you sign up for those. They're usually on the last day of the show, and it gives you an opportunity to be inspired and also to connect with others. So Tia, I'll kind of let you take the next one about programs.
Yeah, absolutely. Good morning or afternoon, wherever you're dialing in from. My name is Tia Eskandari, and I'm the Vice Chair for the Women in Security Forum. So I'm just going to cover a few of the key programs and initiatives that we are working on. As many of you know, we have the Power 100. It's widely advertised on all the social platforms, and we have quite a few Power 100 winners probably dialing in today. We have the Women in Security Forum Scholarship Program. It's part of the Amplify Her subcommittee, which I'll talk about a little bit in a few slides. That is a subcommittee that I co-chair. And right now the enrollment's open, so you can apply for the scholarships. And I tell you, as a past recipient of the scholarship, it is an amazing, life-changing opportunity. So please, I encourage you to apply. We have the Security Lead Her conference. We just had that conference, and that was amazing. We have some pictures here from prior. I love the cowboy hat photo here. That's me. We have the Essentials for Job Security, Dress for Success around ISC West, and I think that's really near and dear, and I think Mina will probably cover that. And we have the SIA Progress Award, which is another excellent way that we go and recognize women in security. So all kinds of good stuff.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So the mission of the Women in Security Forum, and I promise I won't read all the slides, but this one I will read you. The mission is to support the participation and retention of women in the security industry and provide opportunities that foster growth and advancement. So we have career enrichment programs, professional development and networking opportunities. And through these, the forum engages members, both men and women. It's an important piece who share in this same goal. So our vision is to engage all security professionals to promote, recruit, and cultivate women's leadership for a bolder presence within the industry. So some of the ways we achieve that are by creating programs to advocate for career advancement and growth opportunities so that women stay in our industry. To connect women, you're going to hear about a lot of networking opportunities and things that we do throughout the year so that you can get involved and connect. We have recruiting programs specifically around, female professionals, next generation female professionals and leaders. And we keep that dialogue going between male and female leaders, where we have some allyship things that we'll talk about that we're trying to continue to foster to show what great allyship looks like in the industry and how men can make sure that they are clearing paths and supporting women as they continue to grow in the security industry. Obviously, we're creating platforms via our awards. We'll talk through quite a few different opportunities that we have for awards and other spotlights to provide visibility for women. And then ultimately just creating more opportunities for women to work together and advance in the physical security industry.
So why join WSIF, right? So this is a community. This is a community of women. We support each other. As you listen to the different subcommittee opportunities today, hopefully you'll get a sense of a calling. Hey, this one speaks to me, right? This is the community. We support each other. We've made we're friends, right? This is our tribe, we like to call it. We exchange ideas. We want to lead change. We want to make our, we always talk about statistics and male dominated industry. We want to make our voices heard. We want to get out there. There's a lot of opportunities, as Candace mentioned, to publications, speaking, scholarships, all the things, right? Podcasts. So these are ways that we're trying to change the narrative, trying to change the landscape of how it looks, right? And we want to make a difference. We look different. We are different. We share our backgrounds. We all have our own stories, but we want to hear from you all. And we want you to join. We obviously want you to join our tribe, right? All right, Candace.
Wonderful. Okay. I don't believe Tracy Larson was able to join us today. So now we're going to break down and talk about our separate subcommittees so that you can see individual opportunities that you could volunteer. If during this today, one of these or multiple subcommittees spark your interest, let us know. We would love to add more volunteers to our ranks. We're specifically looking, it's not a huge time commitment, but for people who are willing to roll up their sleeves and get involved and help support the different initiatives. So first is Strengthen Her. And this is really to support female entrepreneurs and give them, guidance and support and a network to help, with resources for these women-owned businesses. So we put on various webinars and other networking and connection opportunities so that they can find further success. We're also looking at what the Security Industry Association is doing around entrepreneurship and startups and how to support those, and seeing how we can specifically carve out a space to highlight women-owned businesses in those spaces. So if this is something near and dear to your heart, take a look at that.
Yeah, I'll jump in. I'm Beth Anderson, Director of Digital Marketing at Allegiant, and I co-chair our Navigate Her subcommittee. And on the call with us too, I'm joined by Emma Barkley. She's Senior Manager Strategic Sales at JCI Products. And together we lead a dedicated team of volunteers focused on opportunity and advancement for women in our industry. So within the Navigate Her committee, we have 3 focused subcommittees that drive our mission forward. So first, we have education and training that creates professional development content and programs designed to help you grow your careers and advance. Next, we have networking, and we support the ambassadors that you'll hear a little bit more about. So we help fund some of those events, and we help amplify where those events are taking place, fostering that supportive community, connecting women across the security industry. And then lastly, our event grants and scholarships subcommittee oversees awards, scholarships that enable women to attend various events like the Lead Her conference and other educational events, kind of removing that financial barrier to these opportunities that exist. And then we host a webinar series we call Coffee Chats, where we discuss relevant topics that advance women in security, providing that space for open dialogue and learning. So if you're interested in Navigate Her, let us know, and I'll turn it back over to you, Candace.
Wonderful. Next is Lead Her. I hope that many of you on the call have had an opportunity to attend Security Lead Her. This event is a partnership between the Security Industry Association and ASIS. Our volunteers from the Women in Security Forum partner with ASIS's volunteers on their Women in Security group that they have. And we program everything from event experience, picking the sessions, kind of determining what the look and the feel of the program looks like. So it's a great way to get hands-on in developing a wonderful event for women in security. I believe we had about 400 attendees, if I remember correctly, this past year that came. It's mostly women, but we also have some wonderful male allies that support us. And it's just a really special week. So whether or not you get involved in helping plan Security Lead Her, or at a minimum, just attend Security Lead Her this coming year. We just had it here this past June, but it's taking place in Minneapolis in 2026, June 15th through the 16th. So make sure you pencil that in on your calendar. If you need help convincing your boss that you should be able to attend, we provide resources for that throughout the year as well. We'll open registration for that in January of 2026, as well as our call for presentations as well. So if you're interested in creating content that you would like to deliver specifically to a very female audience in security, that's a great place to do that as well. So stay tuned for information about that. It's a wonderful event.
Hi, I'm going to jump in here. It's Alice DeSanto. I'm the Vice President of Marketing for Autonomous Solutions Incorporated, and also the past chair of the Women in Security Forum. And I just wanted to give a big shout out to both Candace and Tia. I don't know if it was, I don't think it was mentioned in the beginning, but Candace serving as chair and Tia as vice chair, and myself, we formed the executive committee for the Women in Security. And it's a group of 3 that we keep the continuity and stability so that the leadership just, can stay in place and collaborate over a good period of time. And in Tia's position, she's actually, as vice chair, will serve 6 years when the term is done, just as Candace will have done when she comes into this role as past chair in a few years. So just big shout out there and thanks for your leadership. Okay, so propel her. I don't know about any of you on the call, but I was an athlete through college and, in intramural sports. And I became friends here locally. I live in Louisville, Kentucky, with the assistant basketball coach of the University of Louisville. And as we became friends, a couple of things came into mind. One is that a lot of the attributes that I hold dear to being a leader in, whether it's the security industry or just in my profession overall, came from those times that I was on teams. And then I also learned through my time with talking to her is that there's a very limiting career path for a lot of these wonderful warriors of the courts and the fields. They're typically drawn into professions of, continuing on with their sport, maybe coaching, maybe an athletic trainer, but, their eyes are not necessarily wide open to other opportunities because they're so entrenched in the great sport that they're excellent in. So with that, we thought, what better way to get this kind of talent into the security industry, especially one that is lacking in female leadership, and bring an easy pathway to these women in collegiate sport to enter into the industry. So that's Propel Her. We started it a couple of years ago with the beta through the University of Louisville, and now we've spread out to recruitment conversations with really all Division I colleges, and we'll continue on with D and 3 as we progress. And we've also created a wealth of educational information that is for the universities, for the university support staff, such as people in recruitment placement services, and also for our member companies so that they can understand how to hire these individuals and also create internships for these individuals. So I really hope you check it out. We've got a great group of volunteers. A lot of us are ex-athletes, but many of us aren't, and we could always use more help if this is something that appeals to you.
All right, so let's talk about Amplify Her. Amplify Her is a labor of love. Okay, so we are currently in the throes of scholarship applicants, but we're also raising money for the scholarships. I think I mentioned this at the Lead Her conference. I was a past recipient of the scholarship. I applied for it and did all the things to get myself in that opportunity, and it really afforded me it really made me pause and pour into myself. We're busy working. We tend to, just go around and maybe go to our employer and ask for certain courses or things. But this was great because once I got the scholarship, I was able to just say, okay, what are the things that I put off that I wanted to do for myself? And it changed me. Now, after that, I said, well, I want to volunteer. I want to give back. And we have a team of volunteers that are working their butts off. We are dialing for dollars. We are reaching out to all of our partners. Every little bit helps. We want to give out as many scholarships as we can. We'd love for you all to come and join our subcommittee. This is a team that really believes in providing these scholarships for the women in our industry. And so come join us if you're interested. And we're in deep, and I'm recruiting. So thank you.
Hi, it's me again. Uplift her. So we started the philanthropic subcommittee for the Women in Security Forum in 2020. And at that time, we were all going through something. And it was our way of, really just wrapping our arms around each other and thinking about people beyond ourselves and during that very trying time. And so we put together this particular committee and decided to anchor it into the two major trade events that the Security Industry Association is most involved with, which is ISC East and West. Having started in 2020, our first initiative was during the ISC East experience in New York. And what we were compelled by was the fact that when we're going back and forth between the Javits Center and wherever we're staying as far as hotels, that there's so many different people that are out in the streets hungry. And so we put together the Can Do Challenge. I hope that you've heard of it, which it's, kind of a play on words where you can give a can of food or you can actually do a great deed. And whether that's, at the event itself or actually in your home community. And so we've been able to get that whole mindset of giving back in a very good way around food and food insecurity at the local level with the trade event, and also in the more global but localized sense in your home court. So that's one. The other initiative that we do on an annual basis is the Dress for Success, which is the essentials for job security. And there we are actually supporting the women of Southern Nevada with bringing different wares, whether it's clothing or apparel of like shoes and handbags and accessories, and giving that all back to the local Dress for Success. We actually took that up a notch over the last couple of years too, where we're not just giving goods and bringing them to that organization, but we're actually bringing the women in that are recipients of all of those things and actually having them walk side by side with us at the trade show, experiencing what it's like attending the breakfast with us and being able to do some shadowing and some cross conversations so that they're better equipped for the jobs that lay ahead for them, whether they're within the security industry or in other industries locally in Southern Nevada. If that is something that appeals to you, I always say that, giving is actually a gift to yourself. It really makes you feel beyond wonderful to whether get to know those people or to actually make the delivery of the food at the end of an event like ISC East. It's really going to be something that uplifts you as much as it uplifts others. So I encourage you to join.
Wonderful. Illuminate Her. So I co-chair the Illuminate Her subcommittee with Jenna Hardy from Hive Watch. This initially was the marketing committee, helping spread the word, providing social media content, things of that nature. But it's really grown over the years. We're doing a lot of outreach and public relations. We've built partnerships with many of the security industry media to have features written, whether it's on the Power 100 winners, other volunteers within the Women in Security Forum, highlighting what these amazing women are doing in the industry, not just for further advancing women, but some of their stories are very impressive. And so we feature as many of those as we can. We also do something, I see Nikki Williams on the call, that she spearheads for the Illuminate Her subcommittee called Wisdom Wednesday. So she has interviewed former Power 100 winners and asks them great advice and things that have helped them throughout their careers. And then we post those on our LinkedIn on Wednesdays. We're getting that going here again soon. So you'll see more of those coming out on LinkedIn, just to see some faces and hear some inspiring things that are happening. We also oversee the Power 100 program. So that is reviewing the submissions. We've got a big committee of people who ranks all of the submissions. There's so many of them. And it's really hard to narrow down because the women in the industry are so impressive. So with a lot of people that review all the submissions and rank them, we're able to create a judging system where we select the Power 100. Then we are involved in awarding them, and then ultimately making sure we continue to promote them throughout the year, so that they get the honor that they deserve. We have a quarterly newsletter that we put out where we're sharing all of the information that is happening, all the things going on with Women in Security Forum. So I highly recommend you keep your eyes open for that newsletter that comes out quarterly. We'll have one here in the next month or so. Lets you know kind of the upcoming opportunities to get involved with, what to be aware of, and just, keep your pulse on what the Women in Security Forum is up to. So a lot of different things that we work on. You've heard from a few of the subcommittees already. You're going to hear from a couple more. You can tell that they're busy. They're doing lots of things that deserve being honored and promoted in the industry. And so Illuminate Her is here to support those as well. So we're the megaphone for the Women in Security Forum.
Well, good morning or good afternoon, depending on where you're located. I'm Mina Rauji, and I am the Relationship Manager at Dormicaba, and I'm also the chair of the Ambassador Subcommittee. And I'll just give you a quick summary on why you should absolutely join us ambassadors. So we're all strategically located across the US, and now we've expanded into Mexico and Latin America. And we serve as sort of the key conduit, across the regions. We engage in current and prospective members to, join SIA WISIF. And that could be in person, that could be a webinar, that could be getting feedback and kind of disseminating it to us at Women in Security Forum. And with that information, we shape our programs and our engagement strategies. So the input we receive is absolutely paramount. What do ambassadors do? Well, they promote WISIF, as I said, and social media networking. If you're interested in joining SIA WISIF, I would encourage you to visit the website, contact one of us, and see what these trailblazers are doing. They lead with passion, they build stronger networks, they amplify women and allies' voices. Now I can hear you, but Mina, I'm an introvert, or Mina, I'm an extrovert. Here's what I'll say. If you're an introvert, you can shadow an extrovert. This is a great way to make inroads into other regions that you may or may not be familiar with. If you're an extrovert, this is absolutely down your alley. You get to talk to other people and engage them and talk about Women in Security, Forum and what we do. We say we want a voice. We say we want opportunity. We want visibility. This is where we get to create it. This is where we get to bring people in, stand on our shoulders, and share what we're all about. Also, what if you want to host an event? What if you want to sponsor an event? What if there are no events in your area? This is a great way to get involved and say, I'm in XYZ area or region. I'd like to host an event. I have an opportunity or a space, or I've got dollars. Give us a look up, join the committee. We are committed to giving back to this industry and making it better than it was when we arrived. So if you're interested in becoming an ambassador, we'd love to have you.
Yes, here. Well, I was checking the attendee list. Chris Peterson, it was hopping from one call to the next today, so I don't think he made it in time. But Chris Peterson is the chair of Support Her, which is our subcommittee that is committed to male allyship. You'll notice in our mission statement, we weren't just saying that we're a group for women. We're also welcoming our male allies. and ensuring that they're participating in the Women in Security Forum as well. I've heard men say that, I can't join the Women in Security Forum. It's yes, you can. Show that you care about advancing women in the industry by supporting us. So we created Support Her with this in mind, to make sure that we are constantly highlighting those wonderful male allies that are in the industry, that we're keeping the conversation open about what a good ally looks like. It goes far beyond just being a nice guy. How are we clearing pathways for women? How are we, speaking up when we hear something that's not fair, that's happening to a female at work, ensuring that if we're in a place of power, that we're promoting equal pay, that we're mentoring women when we need to, and really just, doing all the things that it means to show up and walk the walk to ensure that women have the support they need to continue to grow in the industry. So this subcommittee is committed to that. We have a good amount of men that are on this committee. So whether you yourself want to join, Support Her, or maybe a man in your organization that you would like to recommend it to that you think would be a good fit, this is a great opportunity as well. We specifically have done a LinkedIn live series with different topics that are important for allyship. So as we continue to put out video content and opportunities, keep an eye open for that. Wonderful. Well, that is an overview for all of the subcommittees on the Women in Security Forum. Alice reminded me that Tia and I just dove in. We were so excited we didn't introduce ourselves. I'm Candace Aragon. I'm the Chief Experience Officer at the PSA Network, and the chair of the Women in Security Forum. And Tia Eskandari is the Senior Director of National Field Service for Allied Universal. So she's the vice chair of the Women in Security Forum. We are here for you, excited to connect with more women in the industry. So please connect with us on LinkedIn too, not just with the Women in Security Forum. I have also here the website on the Security Industry Association website. And you can see that you can join Women in Security Forum there if you haven't already. You can apply for the scholarship that Tia mentioned. You can donate to the scholarship. I just donated on behalf of PSA yesterday. So if you haven't yet donated, please make sure that you do that. You'll see the latest news and events. We do features. Illuminate Her has a mother-daughter series for amazing mother and daughter duos in the security industry right now. So we run those kinds of pieces there as well. Go follow us on LinkedIn, as I mentioned. You can see our LinkedIn handle here. That's the best way to stay up to date. That's where the latest news and highlights and content is going to be coming out. Connecting with other members, you can see who's following the Women in Security Forum and make those inroads and various connections. And then last but not least, this is the website for Security Lead Her. So keep that, in the back of your mind. Like I said, January is when registration opens. If you're reading the newsletters that we send out, you will see all of that information. You'll get the announcement when registration is live. And we would love to have you join us. Mm-hmm. So with that, does anybody have any questions? I believe that we should be able to answer questions. Chris, we just missed you. You hopped on right as I finished giving the overview, but now you can see Chris's face, who's leading Support Her.
Hey, Candace.
Wonderful. Well, I think that's it then. If there are no questions. Oh yeah, go for it, Emma.
I put it in the chat if you want to join Navigate Her. I put my email address. Feel free to message me or add me on LinkedIn. And I think the same thing with the other members, correct?
I can send out an email to everyone who registered for the meeting today, and we covered all of the subcommittees. If there's a particular one that you're interested in, I'd be happy to connect you with the co-chairs, the chair or the co-chairs, and get you plugged into their meeting schedule to volunteer. We'd love to have you.
Yeah.
So Candace, you did Support Her then?
I did. I swear you hopped on right after I finished.
Oh.
I was waiting. I was like trying to stretch.
Well, I appreciate you trying. I know you put me last, so I appreciate you trying at least.
We went through the content fast, Chris. It wasn't your fault.
Well, hey, so I want to make sure that everyone knows that even though it's about male allies, we have about a 50-50 ratio of males and females on our subcommittee. So don't feel like you've got to be a male to be part of the male allies group. We need everyone's perspective.
Yeah, absolutely. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today. I look forward to seeing some of you plugging into these various subcommittees, and we appreciate your time. Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you, ladies and
Thank
gentlemen.
Everyone.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you.